Well, hello again, everyone. Welcome to the Sports Corner. I'm Art Regner for FoxSportsDetroit.com. Today we're going to talk about the Pistons trading veteran forward Tayshaun Prince to the Memphis Grizzlies in exchange for Jose Calderon, the point guard from the Toronto Raptors. It was a three-team deal. And Austin Daye also goes to the Grizzlies along with Tayshaun Prince. Before we get into the mechanics of the deal, whether I like it or not, obviously Tayshaun Prince was a Detroit Piston for, I believe this was his 11th season, and he is certainly remembered for an iconic play, and that, of course, being the block of Reggie Miller, who was going up for an uncontested layup in Game 2 of the 2004 Eastern Conference Final, and Tayshaun came from behind, blocked the ball. It is a legendary play, maybe the most memorable play in recent Piston history. So Tayshaun Prince did a lot of good here in Detroit. Obviously, it was time for him to go simply because he was the last remaining player from the 2004 championship squad. And obviously, the Pistons need to look towards the future. And Tayshaun Prince wasn't part of the Detroit Pistons' future. I guess you can arguably say that Tayshaun Prince was probably Joe Dumars' best draft pick. 4-year starter out of Kentucky. Because he stayed in college for 4 years, he dropped down to the Pistons. They drafted him, and finally he was inserted into the lineup where he stayed and really was a good Piston. So I think we certainly all wish Tayshaun the best of luck and thank him for his services in the Pistons uniform. Now, with Jose Calderon coming in, what exactly impact will that have on the Pistons? Well, this was a trade that was made for the future because Calderon's salary falls to the wayside at the end of this year. It's an expiring contract. The Pistons have a lot of them, and by all estimations right now, the Pistons will be $30 to $35 million under the salary cap at the end of this season, meaning that they can attract maybe a high-priced free agent, or if another team needs to dump salary of some of their players in order to get a high-priced free agent, Detroit, because they have so much cap space, could be, quote-unquote, and I use this term loosely and not in a negative way, a dumping ground for maybe some very good basketball players that other teams want to move in order to, as I said, attract a high-priced free agent. Now, I think the big question comes is that if you look at the $30 to $35 million that the Pistons are going to be under the cap, is do you trust Joe Dumars to make the right moves? And this is no offense against Joe. Everybody loves Joe D here. The Sportsmanship Award in the NBA is named after Joe Dumars. There's not many better people or classier individuals running or being general managers of a professional sports organization than Joe Dumars. That is the truth. He has an impeccable reputation. However, as an executive running a team, and you have to look at this objectively, he has had a checkered run as Pistons general manager at best. Now, I don't know what's going on. Since the franchise was up for sale, the Pistons really haven't done a lot. They haven't been that proactive. Joe has almost gone underground, so I guess I have a couple of questions. One, is Joe Dumars the guy to actually rebuild this Piston team? And based on recent past history, I don't think he is. I'll be honest with you, I don't. It pains me to say it, but I don't. And number two, owner Tom Gores, I'm not exactly sure why he bought the Pistons. Can anybody tell me at this point what is the Gores model to turn this franchise around? He sort of has given the car keys, so to speak, my favorite expression, to Joe Dumars, but Joe doesn't really seem to be aggressively driving the ship, so to speak. So I am not sure what's going on Piston land. So even though they made the right move in getting rid of or trading Tayshaun Prince and getting rid of Austin Daye, who was never going to work out in Detroit, and they have some nice young pieces, I guess. So you could look at Greg Monroe, BK7, and of course Andre Drummond, who seems to really be a very, very nice player. They still need to bring in much more talent. They need to bring in an established superstar to kind of bring it into the mix. I am not sure that the current ownership and the current organization, the guys running the Pistons, are the right guys to do it. So it'll be interesting to see how this develops. But right now, they needed to part ways with Tayshaun Prince. We wish him the best. And now, I guess, the clock is really on Joe Dumars. Will he be the guy with $30 to $35 million under the salary cap to play with will he be able to reinvent this franchise and make them not only a playoff contender next year, but a team that can also maybe advance far in the playoffs. Remember, 2004, that team wasn't expected to do anything. They kind of came out of nowhere. Does Joe still have the same magic? I highly doubt it. But he will have the money to play with to give him the opportunity to prove me wrong. So that'll do it for this edition of Art Regner's video blog for FoxSportsDetroit.com. Everyone have a safe and pleasant one. We'll talk to you very, very soon. I think I'm going to talk about the Big Ten realignment of divisions and, of course, my Super Bowl pick coming soon. So, as I said, take care, everyone. We'll see you very, very soon. Bye-bye.